Cool. Well, we thank you for coming out with us this evening to NJPAC. Welcome to PSEG Social Impact Film Series, Standing in Solidarity. My name is Donna Walker-Kuhn. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm Senior Advisor for Social Impact here at NJPAC. This evening, we are pleased to host a screening and conversation about nourishing communities and how we can confront our food insecurity working together. The film we will view is called Starved, Our Food Insecurity Crisis. The screening is about 28 minutes, and then we'll go right into the discussion. This event is presented as part of the 3rd annual Prudential North to Shore Festival. The panel discussion will be moderated by Jasmine Beckford, Program Manager in Inclusive Solutions at Prudential Financial. Our panelists include Dr. Joshua Ardes, Vice President and Chief Medical Officer at Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey. We have Hend Elbury, Director of Nutrition and Food at Rutgers University, Newark. Balpreet Grual-Verk, Senior Vice President of Community Health for RWJ Barnabas Health. Elizabeth McCarthy, President and CEO of the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. And Tanya Veltz, co-founder of Treehouse Cares. From the program, we will include a food drive benefiting MEND and the mobile meal trailer of Treehouse Cares. So you all have brought food that we put in the bins downstairs. Thank you so much. It's going directly to those two food banks. And a portion of all the festival ticket sales will directly benefit Growing Healthy Pantries, which is a partnership between Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Community Food Bank of New Jersey, Food Bank of South Jersey for Phil, Mercy Street Friends, Norse Cap, and Feeding America. And together, they address food security statewide and supports 1,000 food pantries across the state's 21 counties. So let me tell you a bit about our program. This social justice series, this monthly series of Standing in Solidarity, now in its 5th year. We also would like to extend our deep appreciation to our corporate sponsors specifically who supported this event. And that would be RWJ Barnabas Health, Mosaic, NJPAC.com, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, and M&T Bank. I'd like to invite Justin Edelman, who's the Senior Vice President of External Communications and Corporate Partnerships from RWJ Barnabas Health, to please come up and give a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. On behalf of RWJ Barnabas Health, our President and CEO, Mark Manigan, our 43,000 team members across the state of New Jersey, we're thrilled to once again be supporting North to Shore, and it's just great to be right here, home in Newark. As one of the founding partners of North to Shore, it's been a privilege to see the growth and excitement around the festival. As an anchor institution here in New Jersey, where we cover 5 million lives, RWJ Barnabas Health's mission is to build healthier communities and sustain a healthier New Jersey while delivering clinical excellence and compassionate care. At RWJ Barnabas Health, we know that food insecurity is more than an issue of hunger. It's a powerful social determinant of health. When individuals and families lack consistent access to nutritious food, their ability to manage chronic conditions, focus in school or focus at work, and maintain overall well-being is deeply compromised. That's why we believe the conversation around food must go beyond simply feeding people. It's about nourishing bodies and minds, a lot of which you're going to learn here tonight, ensuring that people have access to the right kind of foods to support their health and wellness. You'll hear quite a bit more from our fantastic SVP of Community Health, Balpreet Grual-Verk, tonight. From our team of dedicated SNAP navigators, our food pharmacies, and that's pharmacies with an F, that absolutely tailor to the nutritional needs of individuals, our community gardens and greenhouses, some of which you've seen right here in Newark. And just last week, we cut the ribbon on an amazing new food hub right on Halsey Street that's going to open towards the end of the year. It's going to be a place that you'll find distribution and education. You'll hear more about it in just a little while. My colleagues work tirelessly in this space, and we're thrilled tonight to collaborate with like-minded individuals and organizations. In conclusion, we're really proud to sponsor this event because this work is close to home and hits close to our hearts. We look forward to learning more from everybody here in this room alongside of you as we explore the connections between food, health, and the community. So I hope everybody really enjoys the film, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy this panel discussion. Thank you and have a great evening.
Just a few more words. I also want to thank our local chefs who are doing the food demonstration and preparation. I hope you were able to sample some of that tasty food. I did. It was really good. So we had Chef Alexandra Charles and Chef Hassan. Thank you both so much for coming and lending your expertise, demonstrating nutritious and healthy eating. And we have our resource tables here, which are an invaluable extension of our discussions. And so we want to thank our exhibitors, Tony's Kitchen, Treehouse Cares, Men Hunger Relief Network, Mosaic, Department of Family and Community Health Science, Rutgers Cooperative Extension of Essex County, and Newark Water Coalition. So with that, yes, we thank them. With that, let's enjoy the film. Thank you so much. I am pleased to introduce our moderator for this evening, Jasmine Beckford, Program Manager in Inclusive Solutions at Prudential Financial, Program Manager in Inclusive Solutions at Prudential, a position she's held since May 2022. She plays a pivotal role in supporting the Inclusive Communities philanthropic portfolio, which is committed to fostering inclusive economic growth in Newark. Jasmine spearheads strategic partnerships that emphasize education, workforce development, asset building, and engagement with historically Black colleges and universities. Thank you, Jasmine.
Sorry, guys. I would like to invite the panelists to the stage. No particular order. Thank you all for joining me. I had to wait to invite you, right? All right, just wait for perfect. Thank you. So I'd like to ask the panelists if they can, in 30 seconds, introduce yourselves. Dr. Artis, you can handle that?
Let's see if I can get the mic working first. Hi, my name is Josh Artis. I am Vice President, Chief Medical Officer at Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield. I am an emergency medicine physician and have worked in both the clinical delivery of healthcare through the emergency departments as well as the insurance side of the industry for about 25 years in total now.
Evening. My name is Balpreet Graywell-Virk. I'm the Senior Vice President of Community Health at RWJ Barnabas Health. I spend a lot of my time in community outreach and engagement, working with different communities, especially those that have multiple disparities. And I'm sure you've heard SDOH needs multiple times in this space, so really focused on making sure that we close the gaps or narrow the gaps where we can as a healthcare system.
Good evening. I'm Elizabeth McCarthy. I'm the president and CEO of the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. I've spent most of my career in social services, really at the intersection of things like mental health, foster care, juvenile justice, and then some food insecurity, and came to Community Food Bank of New Jersey really because I was interested in how do we bridge those gaps and make sure that we understand that food insecurity is one aspect of what we have to be fighting, but it's all interconnected.
Hi, everyone. Oh, yep, okay. My name is Hind. I'm the Director for Nutrition and Food Security at Rutgers University, Newark. I spent most of my career in food security and really, work at Rutgers Newark to kind of holistically address the needs of our Rutgers University community, making sure that their basic needs are met, in a way that's culturally appropriate, dignified, building community, and ensuring that we're doing it in a sustainable way.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tanya Veltz. I am the co-founder of Treehouse Cares. Born and raised in Newark, we founded our organization in 2017. Since that time, we have provided thousands upon thousands of meals, health and sustainability. We serve our homeless population, families and children, and seniors. We're on a strong mission to continue our work to provide these services to those in need in Newark and the surrounding areas of Essex County.
Thank you all for the introduction. And thank you all for joining us this evening as we have a conversation about food insecurity. Inspired by the documentary Starve, though the film focuses on Pennsylvania, we know that here in New Jersey we resonate with some of those challenges that were uplifted in the movie. And today's panel brings together experts from healthcare, higher education, food access, and grassroots advocacy. So thank you all again for joining us this evening. Panel, was there a moment in the film that especially resonated with you, and how does it reflect what you're seeing in your own work?
You want?
Sure, why not? Yeah, so many spots in that video. I couldn't even point to one because there's so many areas that are things that I see continuously in the community, but the one that really resonated was the fact that you just don't know what may happen in your life all of a sudden, like an injury, like an illness, and what that means and the detrimental impact it has on you and your family, like that mother who was hit with cancer. She was a sole provider, and I can tell you when we're serving patients in our communities, I see stories like that over and over again. And food is just sort of a piece of it, like you mentioned earlier. There's so much you unearth when you sit with these families, when you get to understand their struggles that go beyond just the illness, just the food. There's a lot going on. Raising kids, and just in general, is not a piece of cake. And on top of that, you're layering on all these issues. So that's something, unfortunately, I see often in our communities, especially here in Newark.
I think for me, it's hearing from those parents that just so want to provide for their children and sometimes can't. And we're at Community Food Bank of New Jersey, we're actually doing a book club with a book called How the Other Half Eats, that's about food and class and how much that matters, and just like the judgment as a society that we put on parents living in poverty for not feeding their kids healthy food, and yet you see all those challenges that are there. And I think that just brought it to light, just the pain in that parent's voice of saying, like, if you can't do that to take care of this basic need of your child, like how painful that is.
I would echo what Balpreet said, that, many people in our country are just one emergency away from needing to come use the food pantry. And for the population that I work with, many of them are one medical emergency, one car accident away from dropping out of college and not being able to finish their studies, and experience that social mobility that they came to college for. And I think another one for me was really when the narrator said that food insecurity is kind of a euphemism for something so much worse. And I think about like all of the things that somebody had to sacrifice by the time it came to skipping a meal. All like they're at the point of skipping their most basic need. What are all the other things that have stacked and sacrifices they've made and challenges they've had that have gotten them there?
For me, from experience, one of the issues from my work in doing this is that the food desert. The food desert, where there's no local markets, especially in the Newark area and urban areas, where people can go and purchase healthy and nutritious foods. There's also, and they were 100% right about the pandemic. It opened a lot of people's eyes to how this can happen to anybody. It slowed the world down so that everybody can see firsthand, and we experienced it ourselves, that no matter what your walk of life is, no matter what your color is, what your race, that this can happen to anybody. So I saw that as I was serving people during that time. And it did open up for people who were once, I want to say, like, they were very uncomfortable with standing in lines. They felt embarrassed. But it kind of opened up for people to know it's okay. It's okay to be hungry. It's okay to struggle. We all have had our experiences, whether you were hungry at work because you couldn't eat lunch on time. Hunger hurts, and nobody wants to experience that, and especially with children. So I saw a lot of key issues in the film. I'm glad this is being addressed. I'm so glad this is very important to the community. The gardens. My organization currently have 2 community gardens. And the initiative is to teach people how to grow your own healthy foods. It's so important right now. You have no idea, because we have a lot of illnesses out right now, and we don't know where a lot of it is coming from. So the safest way to do it is to grow your own foods. I hope they bring it back into the school system, because that's something that we had, home economics, when we were growing up. I'm not going to tell you my age, but we had it. But we had that, and it was very essential to us during that time in the 70s, whether we just learned how to make peanut butter cookies or whatever we made, but it was very, very essential, and I would love to see that back into the schools and to a lot of organizations.
Dr. Artis, you want to add anything?
I do. I just want to build on what was said, that the thing that resonated with me is how you don't see it if you don't look for it. And I think that one of the things that I think all of our organizations probably do is to try to shine the light on it and bring attention to it so that it does get identified, and then the people who need the resources can be contacted and that resources can be provided to them. Because I think a lot of people are suffering in silence and don't know and have the stigma about coming forward. And I think it's to the credit of a lot of folks up here who are normalizing it and bringing it to light, and events like this, which are publicizing the need for all of us to look and to offer the help.
That's great. Starved highlights that over 1 million Pennsylvania residents lack access to healthy food because of affordability or access. What parallels do you notice? I know Tanya mentioned some already about the food desert. Do you all notice across the state, but more importantly here in the city of Newark?
Well, Essex County has the highest child food insecurity in the entire state. Almost 1 in 4 children in Essex County. So it's incredibly relevant to have this conversation here, especially. I think it's very important. And I don't want to get too political, but it's going to get worse before it's going to get better if the federal policies that are being considered right now are passed.
I mean, I can add to that by saying that, similar to Pennsylvania, we are the Garden State, right? We have tons of food within state, but unfortunately it doesn't stay here. A lot of it goes to other parts of the country, if you will. We truck produce from here to California in refrigerated trucks. I think building a better infrastructure in the state's really important. Access is key to all of this. We have the food. It's a matter of getting it to communities like Newark and making sure, again, it's not just hunger. We can give someone fried chicken and feed them and that they'd be fed, but at the same time, as a healthcare institution, relying on healthy, fresh food, which was mentioned many times in Starved, is really key, especially in children and their development. I mean, imagine as a young child going to bed hungry and waking up to take an exam of some sort, or just what it means in young children in a healthcare system like ours. We see diabetes or pre-diabetic children at a younger and younger age because the access to food that they have is, I'm sorry, crap. I mean, it's just not good food. And unfortunately, we see those numbers when they come see us, and many times it's just too late. So access to food and building infrastructure in and around cities like Newark is really key to success in providing that farm-based food locally.
Yeah, that's great. So Balpreet already cheated. She already started answering the next question. But Dr. Artis, anything you would like to add to the value that food brings as being medicine and healing for individuals, both before becoming ill and while being ill?
Sure. So in medical school, you learn all about the Hippocratic Oath and things. And Hippocrates, 400 years BC, so 2,425 years ago, said, "Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food." And we have not done a good job with that, right? We have messed that up as bad as you could possibly mess that up. As it was just mentioned, right, the rate for depression is 3 times higher if you're food insecure. Anxiety, 2 times higher, 2.5 times higher if you're food insecure. And sleep problems, 2 times higher if you're food insecure. You were just mentioning about diabetes, right? The access to less costly food typically means less quality food, so higher in salt and sugar and fat, cholesterol, which makes you more predisposed to developing diabetes and harder to treat diabetes if that's what your diet consists of. We also know that pregnant women who are at high risk for having babies that would have to go to a NICU, if they get into a food as medicine program, 30% reduction in the amount of NICU deliveries that occur. So the evidence is overwhelming, right? We should be doing a better job providing healthy food for everyone. And hopefully, because of events like this, we're going to get there. I know that our organization, through sponsoring the community food banks work and growing healthy pantries, is really trying to invest in that to try to turn the tide of the direction that we've ended up in and gotten to this point.
Dr. Balpreet, you want to add anything?
Yeah, sorry, I'm like looking over here. Sure. I think also identifying the need for food insecurity, although you may see it or hear about it, we spend a lot of time making sure at the bedside we're talking to patients, whether it's on the inpatient side, ED, and even in the larger, broader community. We've deployed about, at this point, almost 60 community health workers. I don't know if you're familiar with what that is, but they're not clinical. They literally sit with you and they will survey you for social determinants of health. And I always say this, handing someone a slip of paper to tell them where that closest food pantry is not always effective. We heard it in Starved Again, but I can tell you by surveying patients, we know that the top 2 issues, and this is not just Newark, New Jersey, statewide, is food insecurity and transportation. So if I'm saying, hey, get to this food pantry next week, single mom, works till 7 p.m., it's closed already, you can't get there. Someone who's elderly, who just doesn't drive anymore, doesn't have transportation, or lives in a desert and have to take 2 bus rides and maybe an uphill climb with someone who has COPD. I mean, I've actually gone through a case like this. It's not convenient. How are you going to get to that food pantry? So a large part of what we are doing is surveying, and we're not just scripting out. We're saying, okay, fine, let's see where you live, how we can help support you. Let's enroll you in our program. If you need a ride, we have a partnership with Uber Health. We'll get you from your home to the pantry and all the way back home again. And furthermore, it's not a one-time interaction. Thank you for coming and seeing us today. We don't see you again. It's that continuous relationship with that CHW that's really been effective. So we spend 120 days with you and walk you through. It may start at food insecurity. And I'll tell you, we've landed in domestic violence cases. We've landed in spaces where people don't have housing, or they can't keep their lights on, or their child is diabetic, or someone has pediatric asthma. So I think that first touch point sort of scrapes off a little bit of what's going on, but I think that continuous interaction with these patients and really learning their day-to-day issues, disparities, what have you, has really been key to the success of the program that we deployed about 2 years ago.
That's great, and it really tells the holistic way in which you all are supporting individuals. Hind and I had a brief discussion, and I have to acknowledge the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. I went to a women's luncheon where they showed a film about food insecurity in the higher ed institutions. Hen, what does food insecurity look like for a student? What is your organization doing to address some of that?
Yeah, so, I think a lot of times people have this image of what a college student looks like, right? They're kind of this like elitist, they have their meal plan, they're living on campus. But we really, across the country, I think, 13% of households are experiencing food insecurity. Among college students, that number is close to 30%. At Rutgers Newark, that number is closer to 50%. And, these are students who are really, as I said, trying to, experience that social mobility. They've come to college, they're trying to improve their lives, improve their families' lives. Often they're a first-generation college student, So this image that we've had of what a college student looks like is really not the reality. And so students are experiencing, the doctor mentioned people experiencing food insecurity are more likely to have a depression diagnosis. The same in college, really serious feelings of isolation, feelings of like personal responsibility. I should be able to, I should be able to provide this need myself, as opposed to, this massive systemic failure where students are, getting free reduced price lunches all through K through 12, and then they're coming to college and they're like, oh, like, what do I eat? I don't, I don't have anything to eat. So our program, we're really trying to identify, both of you mentioned how important it is to be able to identify people proactively. Often students don't know what they're eligible for. They don't know that, we have all these resources on campus where, yes, our food pantry is our largest program, but we'll help you get connected with SNAP application assistance through RWJ, through the food bank, through our friends at Mend. We'll get you connected to community-based organizations. We'll get you signed up for utility assistance, all those other things that are kind of having an impact, all of those social determinants of health that we know are going to help students kind of, get to graduation, hopefully succeed beyond that.
So you mentioned SNAP. I have the pleasure of also funding Honors Living and Learning College at Rutgers Newark, and it's hard to get on those young people's calendars. So how are you helping students navigate needing 20 hours of work or training in order to actually be eligible for those benefits?
Yeah, so in case folks are not aware, college students have an additional barrier to accessing SNAP benefits. So in addition to often being full-time students, they have to work 20 hours a week. And a lot of students are working, a lot of our students are in school full-time, working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and sometimes they're over 20 hours a week, and then they're just over the income. A lot of times they're working a job, but they're just under 20 hours a week, and so they're not eligible. It's been really tough, I think, for our students to during COVID, they expanded those requirements. They eliminated that 20-hour requirement, and we really saw students having greater success. I have to shout out our community colleges in New Jersey who were able to track a lot of the outcomes from enrollment through graduation. And it makes a tremendous difference for students to be able to go to the supermarket, get their own food. They have the agency to choose the things that they want that are culturally appropriate, that they know how to prepare. So I would say it's a tremendous challenge. And maybe, Elizabeth, you can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I was going to say, just the application process for SNAP is very complicated. And, especially if English is not your first language, or the literacy level, or even if you're working that 20 hours, proving it and documenting it. And so we found when we and other SNAP navigators work with people, there's like a double the success rate of a successful application. Like it's the barriers we put up for people to get things to which they're entitled are, don't want to say they're intentional, but sure feels intentional, right? To kind of keep people out of that system. And so having someone who's a trusted partner, and I just want to say, Hen's team is just amazing. You go to her pantry and it is the most welcoming place. She has like spices for different cultures, so it's not just food, it's not just nutrition, it's really making them feel culturally connected. It's really a beautiful thing. But the SNAP process is really just incredibly difficult. The rejection rate because of, small mistakes is astronomical.
Well, thank goodness you have SNAP navigators in place, and I have to second that pantry is gorgeous. Hind has had the pleasure of coming to speak to our colleagues where we've been able to donate to the pantry, and it's such a great opportunity because I'm glad that a lot of students actually know about it in order to utilize it. So for the rest of the panelists, if you would like to add in what ways can your organization or you as an individual connect with universities to help that students ensure that they not only are no longer hungry, but also thriving and graduating?
I mean, we certainly have a great relationship with Rutgers. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself again in what I'm about to say. But, we do invest in cities across the state of New Jersey. We as a healthcare institution, have 4 pantries as well. We're calling them now food pharmacies, and we're trying to embed them as close to the community as possible. We have hospitals, but at the same time, I learned this very quickly in Newark. Every ward is different. The communities are different. The options in food, you have to be really mindful of that. Cultural competency, of course. I always joke, I'm Indian. If you give my mother an artichoke, she would not know what to do with it. She would just sit there with it. Also, a step further in investing, when we're talking to whether it's students or community members, it's not just giving them food, it's what do they have in whichever place they're living in to cook that food. I was standing at a food, we do giveaways all the time, right, which I think are great, but it's a one-time solution or one day. But this woman came up to me and we were giving out 25 plus pound turkeys, and she's like, hey, next year, can you do something a bit smaller? I'm like, oh, you would think she would want a bigger turkey or chicken. And I was like, well, what do you mean? She's like, all I have at home is a hot plate. And I was like, wow, so there's so many elements here. It's students, student bodies, where they reside, what access besides food they have to cook that food, what do they have to warm it up. So we're extremely mindful of that. But on top of that, the food pharmacy piece is really important to us. We've mentioned it often here. We're trying to put in pharmacies where necessary, and we're adding RDs or registered dietitians to that formula. It's about what's going on, what can you eat, physically. If you have an ailment or a disease, we don't want to keep feeding you something that has high sugar, right? We want to make sure you understand what those changes are that you need to make. So our registered dietitians sit side by side, our community health workers, in these food pharmacies. We have 4 of them. We're also embedding them in federally qualified health centers. Again, extensions of the hospital, right? They're providing health care. Now they also have a registered dietitian, a food pharmacist sitting there right next to them, and they have the dignity of buying food and having the experience of walking around and choosing what they think is healthy. It's not just here's a bag of food, see you later. It's taking that next step to sit down with the person and say, hey, okay, fine, you're food insecure, but let's talk about your health. What's going on with you? What can we offer you? And how can you be mindful of shopping around here? Because next time I'm not with you, we want you to understand what that healthy food is for you specifically. And I think that's where we're making a major dent. And is it okay if I talk about something else that we're doing?
Sure.
Just last week, we announced that we're opening something on Halsey Street. It's called Harvest. It's an 8,000 square foot food hub that we're opening right next to Rutgers. And we really can't wait to have student body in there. It's got 3 components to it. The front part of it is a beautiful test kitchen, a learning kitchen, where we want to bring in students and teach them. Hey, you have access to a hot plate? This is what you can do. If you're going to pick up a cup of whatever, this is the healthiest option for you. Or if you do have access to fresh produce, which we'll also have there, this is the best way to cook it, and this is what you would need, or the ingredients you would need to make it culturally competent. In the middle, we have a giant test kitchen. This is available to restaurant owners that are baking maybe out of their own personal kitchen and they don't want to expand their business, but they don't have the opportunity to. Now you can pump out maybe 1,000 loaves of bread in a week. It's a new opportunity. It's a way to build entrepreneurship in our community and also have any Rutgers students that want to sort of build their career in that space have the access to it. But the last piece there, which is probably most relevant here, is the back couple thousand square feet where we're bringing in fresh New Jersey farm food right to the city of Newark. We'll dismantle, thank you. pallets of food. We have a loading dock there, and package it into smaller boxes to go out to schools, to go out to FQHCs, small church pantries, and really have the ability to get that farm food to local Newarkers and student bodies that live close by, like Rutgers. So that's what we're trying to do. Sorry, that was really, really long-winded, but I had to say it.
No, you had to announce that. I know it was just, last week that happened? So that's exciting.
Opening at the end of this year.
Yeah. Anyone else I want to add before I move on to the next question about how they connect with universities?
Well, I mean, you touched on it, sort of each pantry needs something different.
Yep.
And that's not just the college pantries, that's all of them. So you mentioned we have over 1,000 that we work with throughout the state, and Josh mentioned our program, Growing Healthy Pantries. It's really to help meet a pantry where they are and just make incremental changes to make them more healthy. So make it a choice pantry so that people do have the agency to pick their own foods. Train their volunteers to be trauma informed, because the last thing you want is somebody who's maybe well-meaning, but is sort of saying like, no, take this, it's good for you, and not really acknowledging people's choices. So it's a really exciting program that Horizon and also Feeding America have been sponsoring, and we'll have them throughout the state in the coming years.
I love the dignity that food choice brings to individuals. But I wanted to ask, can you describe a recent NJ-based initiative your organization has led to address food insecurity, especially one that tackles the root cause like affordable access or distribution gaps? Go ahead, Tom. You got it.
Okay. We recently started a project, mobile meals. I know that has been in existence, but I'm so super proud about this project with the help of CFB&J. We built out a whole entire mobile food pantry. Not pantry, but soup Meals on Wheels. Mm-hmm. So we go into what we call the hot spots. Every Monday and Wednesday, I do homeless outreach, and I use the meals and the food to kind of like entice them over. I don't care what you do, whether it's family or community, food will bring people where they need to be. It can be at a Thanksgiving table, a funeral, a gathering, it's going to bring them. So what that means is that on Mondays and Wednesdays, we go out to hot spots. And these are people who are severely suffering from homelessness, addiction. They have mental health issues. And so when we go out, and it's not just about giving them the food, but also being able to get them the help that they need for those issues that they have. And we have been very successful. I've been working with Integrity House and another organization, City Relief, thanks to CFB&J, which is I'm going to keep mentioning them. That's my strongest partner. They have gifted us with this, and it has allowed us to reach many, many people. I just want to go back for a second with the last question about where do I see food insecurity? Where does my organization see food insecurities in Newark? Well, the cost of living has gone up. I'm gonna go there. The cost of living has gone up. Wages haven't. There's a lot of homeless people. I serve homeless people that go to work every day, and they come home to shelters. That's their home, or they're going to sleep. Well, at that time, they were able to go into parks. Mm-hmm. And this is the reality of what we see. Since 2020, my organization, with the help of the Community Food Bank, have been able to provide over 21 million pounds of food.
Wow.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
We have served over countless meals. Where I see the city of Newark, where the issue is with food insecurity, over about 70% of those are families with children. They're in single-family households where mothers are working. They don't have time to prepare meals. Everything is fast. As we saw in the film, there's McDonald's. There's all of these foods that they're getting, but there's no elders anymore. We had a village growing up. If you was hungry, you can go next door to Miss Betty house, or you had our elders. Somebody was going to feed you somewhere. Might not have been at what you wanted, but it was what was put on the table, and your belly would be full. Right now, we don't have that. The population has changed. The neighborhoods have changed. When we grew up in the city of Newark, my neighbor was my cousin. So we lived on streets that everybody was family. And so now that the demographics of the neighborhoods have changed, we don't have that anymore. Where you can go and knock on a neighbor's door and get a meal, or you can go to your local church and get a meal. It's just not that anymore. So we try as much as possible to relieve some of that in the Newark community. And we see the drastic changes with the immigration. Last year, we had almost 75% Hispanic, Latin people show up in our line. Now that things are changing, I don't want to go there, but things are changing. We're not seeing that anymore. And lastly, what I want to say about also with CFP&J, we had the pleasure of participating in their program. It is with Summit Healthcare. And what that program did was they would send a mobile, Summit Healthcare, and they would send out the unit every single month. And people would be able to get healthy screenings for their A1C, blood pressure, cholesterol, and if they had any of those pre-existing illnesses, they were able to receive additional foods to help maintain and control their diets. It was one of the best programs that we were able to operate during that time. Along with that program, they sent a nutritionist because, as discussed, a lot of people don't know how to prepare these meals or of the foods that they receive. So the nutritionist was on site every month. They were assisting and showing demos of how you can prepare healthy meals. A lot of people don't even know that they have these illnesses. A lot of people find out through these free community events, and I was very grateful, Ms. McCarthy, to you guys for allowing us to participate, and also the SNAP program. So we had a 3-in-1. They came out with a mobile unit to provide the health screenings. We had a nutritionist, and people were able to receive SNAP benefits right on the site. They had a person who come out, and she helped them enroll. And I'm going to say within the 2 years, 12 may not seem like a lot, but that was 12 less people in my line because they were able to get those SNAP benefits that they needed. So I thank you all for that. And it's so much more with Newark, but those are some of my experiences that we endure every single day serving the community.
And Tanya, you're saying people don't have family nearby, but she and her husband have become family nearby for everyone. Their phones ring 24/7. It's not just about food. They help with everything, so really amazing.
Elizabeth, I have to second that because, Tanya, as much as you're giving the food bank credit, it's because of your cultural awareness of this neighborhood and this community that you're able to enact some of these changes. And not to get political, but it is important, right? We've seen a lot of these lines decrease significantly. A lot of our partners have informed us of that. It's important to have organizations like yourself who are establishing Meals on Wheels. I know Mend is doing something similarly because to get food to those individuals, they didn't stop needing food. Just the way they need to access it had to change. So yes, thank you for all your hard work. Can you discuss the state programs that might be able to compensate for some of the federal cuts that we're experiencing right now?
I mean, we are very lucky to be in New Jersey, I will say that, because when I talk to food banks around the country, they do not get the kind of support from their state that we get from New Jersey. So it is very fortunate. When the federal level of SNAP went down, New Jersey maintained the minimum of $95 a month. Most states did not do that. Some states, believe it or not, last summer they started the program, the EBT cards for families. So if you had a child who was enrolled in school meals, you got a card for the summer, just have a little extra funding to get. Some states turned down that money. Like I don't know what they're thinking, but so the fact that in New Jersey we welcome that and we're trying to find ways to fund those gaps. People who said to us, I would have had to go to the pantry, but because of that card, I didn't. They were able to feed their families. And so New Jersey's really done an incredible job, I think, of making sure. Now, unfortunately, the federal offsets are, we had a program to buy produce from local New Jersey farms that was federally funded. That has been cut, so that is no longer possible to have that. We're still about a third of what we distribute is fresh produce. That's 35 million pounds of produce a year, and that's not gonna change. But it is just making it more difficult when those federal cuts come in.
How can school food systems address food insecurity in a way that is equitable, economic, and dignified?
Where's cheese?
Universal school meals. I mean, it's really not that hard. There is, that New York City did it a long time ago. It's just that everyone is eligible automatically, and it takes the stigma away, because otherwise you'd have kids, like the kid who has the card and the kid who doesn't have the card. And what kid in 5th grade is going to want to be the kid that has to go up and get the free meal? Like, it just doesn't work.
How can we encourage consistent collaboration, transparency between larger organizations/institutions, grassroots organizations to increase community-led mutual aid and food justice efforts? I know we've hinted at some of it, but if there's any other ways in which that's being done, it'd be great to share with the audience.
What was the question?
What other ways has the community food bank supported your great work, Tanya?
Please say more good things about that.
They have been.
No, we were just
This
kidding.
is an advertisement for the food bank, you all. Welcome.
Oh my God.
We can move on if you all feel like we've equitably answered that question. Okay. How do your innovations plan to address the food dimensions of food insecurity that include availability, accessibility, utilization, and stability? You guys have some tough questions.
I can take a start with that one.
Yes, please.
I think one population that we haven't discussed too much this evening are our older population. Within our Medicare Advantage plan, so that's an insurance plan focusing on those 65 and over for the most part. We've developed partnerships and part of our program that provides medically tailored meals for people after they're discharged from the hospital. So when they go home from RWJ or another facility and we've identified or they've disclosed that they are food insecure, we're partnering with companies to bring food to them right after discharge. Because if you think about it, if you've been in the hospital for a week and you get home and open your refrigerator, more than likely, if there was food there, it's probably not good anymore. And when you're trying to recover from whatever illness you were just treated in the hospital for, the last thing you want to do is have to go grocery shopping and prepare meals and do all of that thing. Your job is to be getting better, right? So taking that burden away by providing meals for that population afterwards, I think is a really strong way we can support that community.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on that for a second. Well, absolutely, that's a great program, and you're right. After a major surgery, the last thing you want to think about is what you're going to cook for dinner that night. We're also doing something similar in the women's space or the OBGYN space, post-delivery. We do provide food for the mother and baby up until age 5 of the baby, and we've been very successful with that at Newark Beth Israel. In fact, there's a women's pantry right on campus, and right over our street, we have a greenhouse which pumps out thousands of pounds of fresh produce every year as well. And then we have a farmer's market right on the same street. So again, you would never think that a hospital system would be doing that kind of work, but we certainly collaborate. And you can't do it alone. We are a healthcare institution. We also rely on Community Food Bank, fulfill partners like Horizon, students, and organizations like yours. I think it's a joint effort. I think if we kept doing initiatives together and really sat at the tables together, we could do even more. And I think this is a great way to sort of highlight that, because I can tell you we have all crossed paths at some level. And you mentioned MEND, Chef Hassan, I don't know if he's still here. There was a great event we did with Metropolitan Baptist Church. We invited him. He cooked culturally competent meals for 200 men, and it was just a great way of bringing community together. So I would say that we're doing great work, but it's all in partnership together, and I think that's how we can really be effective, and not just in Newark, but in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, we actually have a pilot right now in South Jersey that the New Jersey Economic Development Association funded to use DoorDash to do home delivery for seniors, because the infrastructure is there, there's a way to get it there. It's fresh produce, it's things from our pantry, but for people who can't get out, there's not as good transportation. And I mean, I know it's not great here maybe, but in South Jersey, more rural areas, it's really hard for people to get to pantries. And then if a senior to carry home groceries or something is just not realistic. So it's still in the pilot stages, but so far so good.
So we launched refrigerated lockers that students can access 24/7, so they can order, they can choose what they want from our food pantry, including things like eggs, yogurt, fresh produce, really focusing on those fresh items. And we place it in a refrigerated locker. We're lucky to work with a population that's really tech savvy. So they use a code and they're able to access that food 24/7. And then we also recently partnered with the app Too Good To Go. So, you know, that kind of addresses like the availability, access, agency. So students can choose exactly what restaurant they want to get a surprise bag from through Too Good To Go. So
That's incredible. I'd love to hear, like, what makes these partnerships work? So many of them were lifted up, but what actually makes it happen? Because some people find it hard to collaborate and work together, even though they're all working towards the same outcome.
Can I answer that?
Sure.
Collaboration is a key for a lot of success of especially grassroots organizations. A lot of grassroots organizations like mine struggle, especially with obtaining funding. So if we don't, I'm a part of what we call a sharing network. And what that means is that I'm one of the strongest food sources. They have clothing, they have diapers, they have furniture. We work with domestic violence clients, we work with homeless prevention. I'm a part of several different coalitions, and it works. That's the only way for us to be able to do a lot of the work that we do. Men, I don't know where they are, but they are, they were one of the organizations that helped us get started. And I actually have a partnership with Community Food Bank that resulted from partnership with men. So collaborate, I can't stress enough how important it is to actually work together, because so much more gets done. You have to just keep that in mind when you're doing the work out here. It's never ever about us, it's about who we serve. And when it happens, it's such a beautiful thing. I mean, to be able to pick up the phone and say, hey, I have a fire, somebody just had a 4-alarm fire. Can you come and I need blankets? Or we have a family, and I deal with this all the time, a mom who's displaced, but they only have a microwave. Do you have microwavable meals? And geriatric seniors. I get calls all of the time with elderly people. I don't judge, but they have family members, and unfortunately, some live far. They can't get to their loved ones, or they just have nobody, and they should not, after being here 80 years, be hungry.
But you're right. I mean, collaboration is hard. Sorry, you want to go first? And that's why I think sometimes it's struggle. We started in Garfield because we found, using our data when we mapped out the state, that was a place that really needed a food pantry and didn't have one. We're co-located there with health services and mental health services and a Head Start. Wonderful. No wrong door. Everybody can come in. But everything from who's parking where, who's loading dock, like it just, and everyone's going into this with the best of intentions, right? But you also have to get your own work done, and it is hard. It's like, well, who's taking care of the fire alarms, and who's doing this, and things that, we all want to do good, but sometimes it is sort of just making sure there's good communication and ground rules, and, it's a great partnership, so it's worked really well, but, there's bumps in the road, for sure.
Yeah, I was just going to go back to that we all have different strengths. We're a healthcare institution, insurance, food, obviously a huge state institution education, a CBO. We do what we do well as an institution, but there's nothing like putting all our heads together and being on a team, right? You have a basketball team, you have someone who's really good guard, you have someone who's great with free throws, et cetera. But I think it's understanding who does what best and figuring out how we collaborate. And I could tell you, when you actually sit down with people and are willing to put your heads together, I could tell you I've never honestly gotten pushback on doing good work in this city. And it goes all the way from organizations like yourself or MEND, sitting in the back there, who we've worked with many times, all the way to a faith-based leader who's like, hey, look, I have 8,000 parishioners, Balpreet. Can you come in and do a health fair and bring your SNAP navigators, and let's get Horizon in there to talk about value-based lives. How can we change A1Cs? We need extra food from the food bank. Let's get Rutgers students to pick up the boxes for us. I mean, it's just, I think the key to all of this is making sure that we do put our heads together, because that's the only way, again, we can honestly get this done.
Yeah. I have to let my pastor know you're referencing Metro so much.
I'm on the phone with Pastor Jay every day.
Oh my goodness. He makes sure we're healthy and the rest of the community is healthy. What avenue is there for home gardeners to donate their excess produce? Have community gardens been an impactful source of seasonal produce for the food insecure?
I can answer that as well. So we have, as I mentioned early on, we have 2 community gardens. One is our tender garden, and that's for I kind of like kindergarten, it's tender garden, and that's for the children. And then we have the community garden, which everyone is allowed to come and grow anything that they like. I strongly encourage them to come and grow whatever their culture eats. Everybody loves salad, so we have a large space full of cucumbers and tomatoes and lettuce and those things. But I encourage people to come and share their cultural seedlings, and their seeds. We want to know what you're eating, and we would like to know, we want to be a part of your culture as well. So the community gardens, they are very essential in so many ways. A lot of people don't know that they can use their SNAP benefits and go to the supermarket and purchase your seeds and your seedlings. If you receive SNAP, and if you have any family members and they're interested in growing healthy fruits and vegetables and they receive SNAP, it actually takes them a long way than trying to buy produce that's already harvested in the supermarket. As large as my pantry is, I go shopping, and people see me and say, "Why are you here?" Because that food is for those people. But I purchased produce, and I think I bought 2 pounds of strawberries, and it was almost $12. So it literally, when I could come out the store in the past with 4 or 5 grocery bags with less than $100, I'm coming out with 1 bag and about 6 items. So what we do with our gardens, we also teach people, individuals and children, of how you can preserve your harvest, your herbs. Grow your herbs, dry them. You can hang them, put them in the oven, dry them out, and put them in your jars, and now you have your oregano. You have your garlic, and you have these things, and these are the activities that we teach. So it's very essential, very beneficial to healthy eating right now, and to be able to afford. And people, you can grow right inside your home. You don't have to have a yard. You don't have to have even a porch. There are fresh produce items that you can grow all year round. So these are the things that we share out. And the kids love it. They love to play in dirt, and you just put the bag of dirt there and give them some instruction, and they just go. My granddaughter, she's a pro. Now every time she gets a bottle of water, she just want to go around and just start watering everything that she sees. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We need to learn how to really eat healthy, because if we don't, we're all going to die, like literally. So that's what community gardens do for me.
How do we move beyond emergency food programs to systemic approaches that build food equity in the long run?
I feel like we're all going to say policy.
I was gonna say policy.
And I got a follow-up for that.
Yeah, I was definitely going to say policy. At the end of the day, this is something we work heavily on. You heard from Justin Edelman. He's part of our external affairs team and government affairs team. This is not a city thing. This is not a New Jersey thing. This is a national thing. The more institutions like ours or other healthcare systems or the Horizons or the community food banks, Rutgers, I mean, largest state school in New Jersey, maybe even the country, I don't know your stats, but the more we kind of, sort of come together and try to voice this as much as we can, the importance of this work, the impact on individuals, keeping people healthier earlier, because most of the money we spend is end-of-life care in this country. And I think if policy makers heard more and more of the importance of this type of work and the impact of it, the stronger we have an argument to change policy. Someone mentioned the federal poverty line. That hasn't changed in decades. So here you have the federal poverty line. You mentioned expenses. Things are way more expensive than they were decades ago, but that line hasn't changed. So to stay under it to get certain benefits, you'll stick around and do that. But if you get a job, you lose this line, right? Now you're making more, but then you lose all those benefits you were heavily relying on. So this is more than just food. It has a lot to do with policy. It has, unfortunately, a lot of stuff that's systemic that we need to change. But I think if strong institutions come together, voice together these changes and the effectiveness of these changes, I certainly think that's a way to move things forward.
Yeah, I mean, we've been putting a lot of effort into our advocacy efforts, and it's not just us advocating. It is farmers, neighbors, people who are on SNAP, people at our pantries getting their voices heard. And for people whose voices have not been heard because we haven't been listening for a very long time, it can be hard to convince people that, maybe this time it'll be different.
Yeah.
But we're really trying hard to make sure that policymakers are hearing directly from people who need the food and need these policy changes.
If you had 60 seconds with a state or federal policymaker, what would you urge them to prioritize to combat food insecurity at scale?
Go ahead.
I would say universal school meals, universal meals at all community colleges. I'll just throw universities in there. But I think, for me, I think I would imagine a world where we have almost like universal SNAP benefits. So there's nobody in this country that has to qualify. Everybody can access the food they need.
I would definitely say loosening the SNAP, or anything we talked about earlier today too, Medicaid, right? The way to qualify is so narrow that many people fall out of the criteria. But furthermore, I think making sure that we have a positive food infrastructure. When I say infrastructure, it's similar to what I mentioned in Harvest, having that ability to go to our New Jersey farmers and bring it to cities like Newark, making it easier, perhaps even incentivizing certain entities to do so. Buying local and hiring local, that's one of our anchor missions. We talk about supporting our local communities. What about that mom that is baking in her home and trying to sell what she's baking, right? I can tell you that that's a key thing that we want to work on, or anything locally, hiring locally. Why aren't we hiring more people from our communities? Again, every community health worker that we hire, we try to think, okay, are you from Newark? Do you understand what's going on in Newark? How will you resonate with the patient if you're saying you're from 3 cities over? You won't. So connecting with people is really important. Hiring locally, really important, but also buying locally. We heard about those supermarkets that went out of business because there was no one around to sustain them. Why would large entities or any entity invest if you're not being supportive of the local infrastructure? And I think that's key to success of anything. So making sure that we have statewide infrastructure to make that all work is really important to making this successful.
I would just add that I think affordability of healthcare is a discussion that everyone is talking about right now. And the reality of it is that what we in health insurance, what the hospitals are doing, is maybe 20% of health. 80% of it is what happens on this side, right? It's food and exercise and social determinants of health and all of those other factors. We're spending a tremendous amount of money in our country on unhealth care, right? And we need to, I think, shift that focus and that attention and the funding towards what is going to support health, which is addressing food insecurity and other social determinants issues. Very difficult system that we're entrenched in to get out of. But I think with advocacy from groups like this and across the country, that's where we have to move to.
That's exciting. I have to lift up the community food banks workforce development programs, right? It made me think about what you were speaking about regarding your organizations that's going to open up later this year, like the opportunity those young people have or individuals have to going to this facility and leveraging the skills they've learned at the food bank to become an entrepreneur and take care of their family and invest back into their community. So it is hugely important that we continue to support our residents and our neighbors, because otherwise food insecurity may be something that could be alleviated in that way.
Yeah, and we have two programs, one a culinary training program, and then one to work in warehouses, so learning pallet jacks and that kind of equipment that you need in so many warehouse jobs here. And we mostly, not entirely, but it's largely a reentry program, so many people who've been in prison or have a criminal justice background who have trouble getting hired somewhere else. So yeah, very proud of the work there.
Yeah. In your opinion, how far are we to having a fully nourished community, i.e. time, impact, actions, etc.?
We are very far. We have a long way to go. I see here in Essex County, it's over 90% of the population is hungry. They're going hungry right now. And I want to mention that affordable housing is a large part of this crisis. We have to, and if I had to address our Congress, that's my issue. Like, are you paying attention to the price of how much an apartment is right now at $3,000 per month for a one-bedroom, and you have a mom, a single mom, who's not making nearly as close? I have people who come to me to get food because that's their rent.
Yeah.
This is the way that they pay their way to stay with a relative or stay in a stable place. You come to me and say, hey, Tanya, I'm at my sister's. Can you give me something extra? At least if I take the food in the house, I have a place to lay my head for the night.
Yeah.
So housing is very, very crucial to be addressed. We have a lot of senior people who have worked all their lives, and they think that $8 per month is enough SNAP benefits to hold them over for an entire month. They're on fixed income, but they come to me all the time and say, they just decreased my SNAP benefits to $12. What are you supposed to do with that? And then they said, well, you're only one person. You're a single individual. How much can you eat? Wow. I said, they said that to you? I said, they better hope COVID never hit again. Because if that didn't wake the whole world up to know that this can be you and how important this is, then I don't know what else will. So yes, they need to, the housing crisis is serious. I'm out here a lot with our homeless neighbors and people who are one paycheck away from not even having an option to have a choice whether they want to pay a bill or eat a hot meal.
I would love to ask, what other ways are you all able to support individuals outside of just traditional food? I know that the food bank is doing so much. I know that you're doing so much at the pantry, and I'd love for you all to let the audience know about those other ways in which you're supporting individuals holistically.
Want to start? Okay. Well, many of our pantries really do have full wraparound services. I know I saw Tony's Kitchen out there. We've talked about Mend, like places that when someone comes, it is not just giving them the food and having them leave. It is engaging, understanding why they're here, because we've all said it's rarely just food. So it is trying to get people to more affordable housing, maybe to a job training program that will get them to a higher, salaried job. really just listening to people and understanding a lot of mental health needs out there, and really connecting people to those kind of services. So I think we've seen one of our pantries that does a very good job of tracking their data, says if they can engage someone in a conversation and sit with them and start to case manage them, 50% of those people in 3 months are no longer coming to the pantry. Like, that's incredible. And so the more that we have, social workers on site, people that can really engage and understand the root causes of what brought someone there, I really think it could just change things dramatically.
I think, similarly, like kind of getting students connected to the network of other resources that are available, both on campus and off campus. Sometimes they're dealing with some sort of like interpersonal trauma, or we're able to get them connected to clinical services. We're able to, make sure that they're getting their SNAP applications, so we're really trying to get them connected to all of the services that often, again, they don't know about, they don't know that they exist. And then also like getting them connected to a community. So, we have like a new garden bed in our healing garden on campus. Other ways of getting them like engaged in the community. I think for us, we're really trying to get them to that finish line, get them to graduation, get them the career services they need so they can experience that social mobility that they came for.
Amazing.
I was just going to say, we obviously mentioned the community health worker program earlier, but we have resources internally as a healthcare system that we know really well, but we do spend a lot of time in the community learning about all the resources out there. You mentioned Tony's Kitchen. Obviously we know about them, we know about MEND, but so many organizations that are doing great work in our community that we need to piggyback on and learn more about. And we spend a lot of time across the board and not just in food. I'll give you one example that was really touching to me. I went to Salvation Army, and I was there, and there was a young man. I was actually there to look at their basketball program, nothing related to food at all. But I started talking to him. I have 3 young children, so I'm like, all right, let me pick a conversation with this kid. And I started talking to him, and I was like, what are you doing here? He's like, I play basketball. I'm like, oh, that's great. I used to play basketball way back when. He's like, oh, yeah. And he was dribbling the ball. And I was like, oh, how long do you stay here? He's like, I get here at about, like right after school, and then I leave at 10 p.m. And I was like, you leave at 10 o'clock? Like, you really must love basketball. And he said, no, it's not because of that. Well, I do. But he's like, and this is a 10-year-old kid who's so hardened. He's like, both of my parents are in prison, and I'm being raised by my 70-something-year-old grandma. I mean, I'm gonna like, and I was like, for a young child who's just as old as one of my daughters to tell me that, and to say I'm here, and he's like, the streets are too hard because I'll probably maybe end up in a gang. So my grandma said, you wait here for me, you eat here, you stay here, and get a meal here. And I pivoted quickly from looking at the basketball program to the meal program, like, well, what do you eat here? So we turned around and you start looking at, what kind of canned goods they have, what the options are, and how we can potentially support. And I remember coming back, yelling at my kids that evening, because I was like, you guys are way privileged, and you have no idea what kids are going through 30 minutes from where we live. But on top of that, the next day, tuning in with our team, and I'm saying, look, the basketball program is great, and that's needed. What can we do about food in this location? And I mean, now we're working on putting in a food pharmacy, so I'm sure we'll be reaching out to you at some point. But it's working with organizations, touring them, seeing them. There's a lot you see once you're there. I can read sheets of paper all day long and look at reports, and I'll get some level of realization what's going. But being on foot, being in communities, learning about, for in this case, Newark, the different wards, who the people are, that is really what helps us understand as a healthcare institution of what the needs really are. And it's a lot of time in communities and hearing from people that are, I'm sure, sitting in this room right now. You see this every single day. We need to sit down and figure out how we can tackle these issues together. And that's really, I think, again, something that we hopefully can work on further with the people in this room and beyond in Newark.
I have to acknowledge Kylie's my friend from MEND, and she's the one who really got me thinking about food insecurity. And I'm just so impressed by the work that she's done in terms of building a coalition and some of the great partnerships she's talked about with you all. And I know it's not easy being in this work, and it's an every day, every hour type of challenge that you all are seeking to address. I really just want to commend you all for the hard work that you do day to day. How are food pantries developed within a community, and how is one started? Please describe best practices. Tanya, I think this was written for you.
That's a Tanya question. Okay. um, y- I'm gonna first say it starts off with you have to want to do it. It's definitely not for the weak. Um, it takes a lot of hard work, but I started out as what I would call street outreach. I didn't have a partnership with anyone. I just would go as a independent organization and pick up from local distributors like Trader Joe's and whoever else I could get food from. And we would go to street corners, housing projects, and we would take about 2 or 3 tables, and with whatever we had, we gave. And so I didn't start out like most pantries do. You know, they form a partnership, mostly with CFB&J. I know you're gonna try to, but it wasn't easy for us. So we started out that way, and then over time we started to grow. We started to go out to any and everywhere, senior buildings. I would set up pantries there for the seniors. We would go to local hospitals, and they wouldn't allow us to do it on the site, but we would go on the outskirt. But my passion was with the homeless community. Um, a lot of people come to us now and they ask, "How can we do this? How can we do the work that you do?" And because my husband and I struggled so much in the beginning, I jump at the chance. I jump at the chance. I look at it as if I help them, they're going to help people. So it's not easy. I always direct them to men, um, the community food bank, and I says no guarantee, but it's worth a try. It took me 2 years to get a partnership. I came in the location that I was in with 2 tables, 1 refrigerator, 1 little small freezer, and now I have 7 commercial refrigerators, 10 freezers, and they just dropping off thousands of pounds of food to me. So you just have to stick with it. Go to your local stores, and partner up with people that do have pantries right now. And I think we're not supposed to do that, but I help people. But
I didn't
go,
hear a thing.
yeah, get a partnership with somebody who's doing it, and that's the easiest way. You just have to work together.
That's great, Tanya. I am going to ask the last 2 questions. What gives you hope in this work, and what action steps can people in this room do to help advance food security in New Jersey? Oh, I'm going to give you the first question. I'll come back around to the second.
What gives me hope is our partners. I mean, these 2 and 800 others. Our work with places like Men, like Tony's Kitchen, and then our Growing Healthy Pantries, like seeing it change the options for people. It's seeing what our staff do, what our volunteers do. You can't not have hope if you come to one of our pantries or one of our food banks, because it just, as hard as it is, people are so committed to it and just really want to make change and are making change.
I'll add that what gives me hope actually is the next generation. Hearing the story about your granddaughter, watching my daughter who's 18 now, the way they think about issues and how to solve them is, to me, very hopeful. Speaking of, using technology to try to address this, my daughter introduced me to the Too Good to Go and Karma and Flash Food, these apps where people can go on and find grocery stores and restaurants that are giving out either discounted or free food. I could never think of that, right? And so I think a lot of what we need to do and focus on is working with the younger generation to encourage them, educate them, and to give them the space to find answers that we probably couldn't even find. That gives me hope.
I would say all of the above, and hearing patient stories from me, at least. We try to gather them every month from all of our hospitals to hear about the effectiveness of our community outreach programs or community health programs. And they range from birth to someone who's 90 plus years old. And I think when you sit there and flip through them and read them, and actually we've actually hired one of our former patients who used our services as a community health worker because she wanted to volunteer her time because she understood the effectiveness of this kind of work. I think that gives you hope that, you know, you change somebody's life to get them to a place where now they too want to help others.
I think for me, I think every commencement we see, you know, these thousands of students graduating, and so many of them come back and tell us about what they're doing and the impact that, you know, the basic needs and food security work at Rutgers has had on them. And I just want to shout out our food pantry manager, Brian, is right there. Can you wave? And Brian graduated recently from Rutgers, was a great volunteer that we had, and we hired him full time. And he's a person who gives me so much hope. I am positive that, you know, things will continue to grow, these partnerships will grow, the innovation, like you said, because of people like him.
What gives me hope is seeing people who are hopeless come into my line or come to my outreach, and they leave with full carts of food, with some sort of sustainability in living, and just seeing the smiles on the children's faces that my husband spoil every single day, because they come, they know that they can come and get snacks every day because of him. And it gives me hope that they know that people out here care. That's the best, that's the biggest part of it all. Because when you feel hopeless, that's what you want, to know that somebody care about you.
And then for those who may be experiencing food insecurity, what resources are available to help them? Yeah, let's go
Everybody look
backwards.
at me. Okay. People who experience food insecurity know that they can come to us for everything, anything that we can give them. So if it's food, if it's diapers, if it's feminine hygiene products, I have a wonderful organization that we partner with that supplies feminine hygiene products, bras, underwear. These things are very essential for people who can't afford them. At one time, they took that away from schools in Newark, where teenage girls weren't able to get those hygiene products. So as a result of it, they were missing days. I don't know how the colleges are doing it right now, but I got a lot of calls for that. I've been fortunate, along with men and some other organizations, to be part of university hospitals. They have a REACH program now. And what that means is that it's a coalition of organizations that come together, and we all have each other's contact. So when there's a need and we're out there or people come to us, we're able to reach one another so that we can reach people. I would strongly encourage all of you in the room. There's a quarterly breakfast meeting that takes place every month. It's hosted by Edna Dickerson. If you visit my table out there, if you send me an email, I strongly encourage anybody to come and be a part of that coalition, because it helps a whole lot of people. It's a lot more, but I'll be here. It's 8 o'clock. I'll be here all day.
What was the question?
That's no problem. For those who may be experiencing food insecurity, what resources are available to help?
Oh, I mean, I think, you know, we're focused on the college population, but I think Newark has such a wonderful network where, you know, even though MEND isn't doing like direct services to families, they have a super up-to-date list of resources that people can access. The Food and Health Equity Coalition is putting together tons of resources for Newark and Essex County. And I think well, I won't take yours. I feel like I go ahead.
Yeah, on our website, or there's a phone number you can call and just you give your zip code or something, and they'll tell you anything in your area that is available. So, and speak many languages, have lots of help to give people. So I cold called it one day, like that undercover boss kind of thing, and they were amazing. I was like, wow, that was so much better than I thought it was. Like incredibly helpful. So it was great.
So on CFB&J's website, there's a link. It's called Find Food. And no matter what area, city, because they're here, they're all over the state of New Jersey. And a lot of times I get calls for food and I'm not open, which is rare. But I do send them to that link and they can.
She's my PR person. In case
No, I was going to say, she might need a job.
Oh, I got my hands full. Yeah, but there is a link. It's called Find Help. It's on CFB&J. And then also clients can call 211, and they'll direct them to food sources as well.
For us, you can call directly any of our hospitals. 9 out of the 12 have community health workers embedded there that can help you navigate any of these services related to food. We'll be at all 12 by December, and every RWJ Barnabas hospital has a SNAP navigator. Furthermore, if you ever need to find out where our food pharmacies are, we can link you there. But most importantly, I think transportation, if you cannot get there, we have an Uber Health program that's completely free. You just have to be surveyed for the food insecurity, and then we can pick you up from your home and take you to the pantry that's closest to you. And finally, I hope you stay tuned and really get to know more about Harvest that's coming to Newark at the end of this year. And I hope through you, we can invite some of the partners in this room to really get a better understanding on foot and to kind of do a tour of what that looks like. But again, you can go to our website and get in touch with us directly, and we'll help you navigate the food system in the state.
Similarly, not just Horizon, but all the insurance companies, if you look on the back of your card, there's a number for member services. If you call that number, all the companies have fantastic nurses, social workers, navigators who can connect you and assist you in finding resources that you need. Raising your hand is the first part.
That's great. So I'm going to pass it back to Donna. We have had a great panel discussion this evening.
You are all extraordinary. I mean, your passion and your creativity. Thank you so much for sharing that with us today. I hope you are all inspired. We have action that we can take. You know, this was truly a conversation that not just informed us about what's going on, but you were very specific, and this is what you can do. So I thank you for that. Let's make sure that we listened very closely. And so I want to thank all of you for sitting here and coming and learning. Obviously, this is something you're interested in and want to support or either need support. Either way, we're happy that you're here. I wanted to just also remind everyone, we had wonderful support also from DoorDash. They provided 50 $30 gift cards that we're giving to the food banks so they can distribute them as they need. And then, of course, we are a performing arts center. So in addition to our social justice initiatives, we invite you to come and see our performances. North to Shore is in its final week. I don't know how many of you have been able to see any of the North to Shore in Atlantic City or Asbury, but we're now in Newark this week. So please come and enjoy some of the many, many things that we're doing. This Friday is our first Sounds of the City for the summer. And of course, Felix Hernandez will be here and we'll be dancing and dancing. So join us for that. And then for the summer, Standing in Solidarity will be all virtual. We invite you to go to our website and watch all of the ones that you might have missed. September, we'll be back and we'll be focusing on voting in September, voting registration and why we vote. And we have a whole list of amazing topics that we're going to explore. So I look forward to seeing all of you at all the various spaces. Thank you again, wonderful panel. Thank you, our moderator, Jasmine. Please have a wonderful evening and check out the resource tables again.
Also volunteer. Nobody mentioned it up here. There's a lot of volunteer opportunities. I had to add that.
Thank you. Yes.